Shalom, this your brother from the GMS Atlanta camp. Before I get started, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rekakwadash. Double honors to my elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and safety to the elect. This is a continuation or part 2 of the previous video that I did of we are the 12 tribes of Israel. We are not black Hebrew Israelites. That word black is derogatory. You know, it has a negative meaning. We are not black people. We are not black Hebrew Israelites. We are the 12 tribes of Israel. So the media label us as black Israelites or black Hebrew Israelites, you know, mostly because when you see the Hebrew Israelite camps, you mostly see Negroes or Jamaicans, you know, but, you know, we're the southern tribes. The Negroes, the Jamaicans, the Haitians, Benjamin, Judah, and Levi, we're the Jews. So a lot of times when you see the camps, you see mostly, you know, darker skinned. But you know, there are 12 tribes. So I just want to get a few more scriptures that I left out in the previous video and go a little bit more into depth as far as who are the 12 tribes. As you see on the sign here, you see the 12 tribes and who they are, who they are, so called. The name that Esau gave us. You know, the Negroes, the West Indians or Jamaicans, Haitians, Dominicans, Guatemalans, Panamanians, Puerto Ricans, Cubans, North American Indians or Native Americans, Seminole Indians, Argentinians and Chileans, and also the people in Colombia, to Nicaragua, and also in Mexico. Now, I'm not saying that everybody in those lands are Hebrew Israelites, because it goes back to the seed of the father, or basically goes back to the background of the father. Those lands, especially the northern tribes down in South America, those lands were conquered by, you know, so-called white men. You know, they was conquered by the Spaniards, you know, the Portuguese, and you know, other also Europeans. So when they came in and took over, they raped a lot of the women and sold their seed in a lot of the women. So those babies that were born, you know, by the rape, came out as Edomites and not Israelites. So you have a lot of mixing going on. And I want to get a really important scripture based on that. And I'm going to get the book of Ezra, chapter 9, and verse 7. And it says, "Since the days of our fathers, we have been in a great trespass unto this day, and for our iniquities we have, our kings and our priests, been delivered into the hand of the kings of the lands, to the sword, to captivity, and to a spoil, and to confusion of face, as it is this day." So you have a lot of so-called South Americans that are actually they're Edomites. Some of them might look like they're South Americans, but they line go back to the seed of Esau. Same thing with Negroes. I actually knew a guy back in the day. You know, I went to his house, and he looked like a light skinned Jake, but I saw his father. His father was a so-called white man, and I didn't know that was his dad. I'm like, who is this white guy in your house? He's like, oh, that's my dad. And he actually looked like him, but you know, you couldn't tell that this dude was mixed. His mother was a dark skinned Negro woman. His father was a so-called white man. So this guy, he actually you know, he got older, and he married to a dark skinned woman. So the babies came out brown skinned. They looked like regular Negroes. But by his father being Edomite, that would make him an Edomite. And by him having children, you know, with a Jake woman, those children are still Edomites, even though they look like Jakes, even though they look like Israelites, you know, dark skin, coarse hair. They not light at all. They look like regular Negro children, but they are Edomites. So you have confusion of faces on both sides. Now, it actually goes the other way around, where if, you know, a Negro man, say his father was, you know, it was the other way around, and his children look like Edomites, but they'll still be Israelites. So it goes both ways. So you really don't know who is who. You can't go to every dark skinned person and think that they're Israelite, or go to every you know, so-called white person and think that they're Edomite, because that's not the case. A good way to judge, or a good way to you know, to basically figure them out is by the spirit, because that seed carrier on the spirit, and you can tell an Israelite spirit. You know, well, basically you can tell an Edomite spirit. You know, Esau, he's more daring. Um, he's more he's dangerous. You know, you got a lot of Jakes that's dangerous too. I'm not just saying that all so-called white people are dangerous, and so-called Israelite, you know, Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, that they're innocent. That's not the case, because we got wicked people among our own people. But you know, basically Esau has this certain spirit about him, and you know, you might run into a Jake that got that look like a Jake, and he's really an Edomite, and you can tell by his spirit. And when it all comes down to it, 2/3 of all people gonna be destroyed anyway. So if you're not humble and meek and into this truth, or willing to learn this truth, especially in that day when everything goes down, you're gonna be destroyed. But I want to get a few more scriptures as far as backing up what I said by your father's line. And I'm going to go to the book of Numbers. Chapter 1, verse 18. And it reads, "And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the name, from 20 years up, Shalakia, from 20 years old and upward, by their polls. So when the tribes of Israel were counted, they went by the seed of the father. So your father determines who you are. And as far as who this truth is for, it's for the 12 tribes. I was looking at a video earlier. There was an Edomite basically talking about the Negroes are the chosen people, but they come first, and second you have the other nations. That's not true. It's only this. The Most High is only for the 12 tribes of Israel. And let me get that in the, I think it's in Joel. Two and 27. And it reads, "And they shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, and that I am the Most High, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, your power and none else. And my people shall never be ashamed." So the Most High is only for us. Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is only for Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel. The Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, according to the seed of the Father. So this is not a color thing. Once again, we don't go by the color of your skin. This is not a color thing. And I want to get one more scripture based on how these the news is telling everybody that we the black Hebrew Israelites, and we believe that it's not that we believe, we know that we come from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And also the religions, basically everything that the so-called white man has taught us, has put in our minds over the last few hundred years. It's been a bunch of lies. So with that, I'm gonna get the book of Colossians, chapter 2, verse 8. And it reads, Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the traditions of men, and after the rudiments of the world, and not after Hamashiach." So if you're new to this truth, the best thing you can do is read for yourself. Don't let any man, especially Esau, don't let any man deceive you through philosophy. And also when you come into this thing, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna really hurt. Because you've been taught your whole life that you've been taught basically the wrong thing. But this truth is gonna be the biggest "I told you so" in the history of the earth. So I think I touched on the scriptures that I wanted to get from the last video. I'm not gonna make this too long, but I really want to reach out to the northern tribes because hey, it's time for you brothers to wake up. You Native Americans, Hispanics, and also the rest of you Negroes. It's time for y'all to wake up because the time is nigh. Actually, the time is here. The time is here. You can't even keep up what's going on in the news. You turn your TV on and you know you basically hear about one thing and you hear about a hundred other things and it makes you kind of forget about you know what your main focus is. But just come out of this world, come out of Babylon the Great, which is United States of America. Pick up this book and read and study and follow the brothers of Great Millstone because we have the 100% truth. So once again, we are not black Israelites. We are the 12 tribes of Israel. The blacks, the Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. So with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to my elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and safety to the elect. Shalom.